Yeah,
Right?
exactly. I genuinely believe that someone can start today at the time of like the recording
Uh-huh.
and probably launch 100 designs through, on Etsy, through Printify, automating with Hello Custom,
Mhm.
and probably make six figures revenue before the end of 2023. So again,
Hey everyone, I'm here back with Stephen Chin. How you doing?
doing great. Thank you.
I had to have you back because I wanted to know, you mentioned in our last interview about a week ago, you mentioned about doing ornaments for Christmas. Hopefully it's not too late. And I wanted for you to show us how to do that, to create the ornaments. I get the ornaments from Printify, and put it up on Etsy. I don't have an Etsy account, so I definitely wanted to get you. And you're the master of Hello Custom, so I know custom is the thing to do on ornaments too. So I wanted to kind of have you show us how to do that for the followers, and so they can have like a walkthrough tutorial on how to do these kinds of things before Christmas. Is that cool?
Yeah, of course, that sounds great. Just
Okay.
for the people watching, it's not too late to do Christmas ornaments.
Okay.
2 years ago, I started launching designs in October. I got everything launched by Halloween.
Oh,
I
nice.
think we
Okay.
still did 20,000 units that year. So it's like it's never
Whoa.
too late.
Yes.
It really ramps to 30 days before Christmas. So you have about like
Okay.
1.5 months to get
Okay.
everything live before it really just takes off.
We'll be good. Okay, great. Yeah, I saw what you said. I went on Etsy. I saw all the ornaments. I'm like, whoa, this is a great opportunity. We gotta show them how to do this and get creative and think about how we can use the customization with the ornaments for people on there. So this would be awesome. Thanks, Stephen. All right. So how do we want to start? We want to start with maybe finding one on Printify, or what's the first thing we should do?
Yeah, so the first thing we do is product research, but we kind of already
Okay.
determined that the product is going to be a Christmas ornament.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah.
So now that we know the product is going to be ornaments, we will now go over to market research, which is for me for market research, I go over to Etsy. I
Yes.
use a product analytics tool like Everbee to
Okay.
like see what designs are doing well on this product for Christmas ornament. So
Okay.
if
Yeah.
you
Yeah.
want,
Yeah.
I can
That
share my
makes sense.
screen, and then we can go over to Etsy and do
Okay.
like a really quick just to kind of show you how I would do my market research for the product.
Perfect. Yeah, this is perfect. Yeah, don't forget about research, guys. Research is key. Don't just throw up everything. I kind of skipped the step there. I'm glad you returned this. So you have it ready, right? I can put this on here.
Yep.
Okay, good.
Perfect. So just to let you guys know, all right, so jumping over to Etsy really quick, I typed in Christmas ornament. And the cool thing about Everbee is they have a feature called Product Analytics where it scrapes all of the listings that are on this page. And it gives you a predicted, it's not 100% accurate, predicted, estimated monthly sales, monthly revenue, total sales, and total reviews. So the numbers that I normally look at that are more accurate are the reviews and the total sales, because this is a hard number. And then everybody knows that, like, hey, like 1 out of 3 people might leave a review. So they have like their average review rate. And then they just multiply the reviews by the average review rate to get total sales. So this number to me over the lifetime of the listing is more accurate. So I typically look at these 3 columns more. So I know that in the last one season, because it hasn't been 24 months yet, this one has sold about 550 units. So last Christmas, this ornament sold almost 530 units. Last Christmas, this one sold over 1,000 units because it hasn't been a full 24 months
Oh,
for
smart.
this
Okay, yeah, yeah.
year. So this is pretty accurate. So we're able to say, hey, a Mr. and Mrs. personalized Christmas ornament has done over 1,000 units. So I
Wow.
typically just, I essentially what I do is I find 5 to 10 shops that are selling the type of ornament that I want to sell. And then, and I scrape their entire listing. So the way that I do that is, so this is Keepsake. They are the #1 ornament shop on Etsy. So I'm comfortable sharing their numbers. I've been trying to, beat them for, going on 3 years now. Can't do it. So I'm comfortable sharing their numbers. And what you can do is you can go over to their shop. They sell about 100,000 units per year. It's ridiculous. This will be like their third or fourth Christmas. So coming over to product analytics, what you're able to do is click into their shop, click onto product analytics, and then you can click on analyze all listings. So right now it's only pulling the 40. And then if you click on analyze all listings, now it's pulled all 200 listings from the shop. And the cool thing about this now is you can export all of this information into an Excel sheet. So what I do is I do this 5 or 10 times. So I've scraped all of the predicted information from 5 to 10 shops, all selling the same type of ornaments. I compile that into one Excel sheet, and then like I copy and paste them below each other, and then I filter that entire sheet from most predicted sales to least predicted sales. And that gives me a very clear direction of what ornament is doing the best on the marketplace. So just to kind of give you guys kind of an expedited, market research, there are like 10 niches that I personally sell in. I've done this. We're actually the #2 Christmas ornament shop on Etsy. So I'm shooting for that #1 one of these years. But the 10 niches that do very well on Etsy for Christmas ornaments are baby's first Christmas. Then there is first Christmas engaged, first Christmas married. There's anniversary is a big one. The next one is baptism, godparent proposal.
Wow.
And then and then the next one is promotions. So like when someone has a baby's first Christmas, typically a brother turns into an uncle, a sister turns into an aunt, a mom turns into a grandma. So the promotions one is a really big one. First Christmas in new home. So like with the address, as well as first Christmas in new apartment. And then the last one actually that does really well is teacher. Because during that time, it's like, winter break, people buy gifts for their teachers. So those are like 10 niches that if you take all of my designs, it probably falls into one of those 10 niches, and we sell 20,000 units per Christmas season.
That's really powerful.
Yeah. So the next thing to know about Christmas ornaments too, since we're still in the market research, is to do well with Christmas ornaments on Etsy specifically. As I'm kind of plugging Hello Custom here, it has to be personalized. Like if you're looking, every single Christmas ornament is personalized, whether it's the name or it's the date. So Mr. and Mrs. Ben and Amanda, 2023. So when I first got started with Etsy, I've tried, non-personalized, and then I tried perceived personalized, which perceived personalized is, like teacher, like world's best teacher. But it's like you're technically Miss Smith, but you're teacher, right?
Yeah.
Or world's best grandma. Yeah. But you're technically grandma, Terry, or like world's best love children. So I've tried like cutting the corners. But with Christmas ornaments, you have to be personalized. Like you can see every single one. And when you do the market research yourself, all of the ones that do any volume are personalized.
Yeah.
Which exactly. But so during a Christmas season, like we will sell like up to 1,000 units a day during some of our peak days.
Wow.
So 1,000, like the last 2 years, 1,000 times a day, we had to have someone open up that design file, read the customer information.
Oh, before Hello Custom.
Yeah, so these last 2 Christmases, manually type in their names, date, addresses, or whatever they want on the ornament, then download it, and then go send it over to production, which is a nightmare to do. It's super slow, it's manual, it's tedious. So going into this Christmas season for myself and everyone watching this video is now there are tools like Hello Custom that can integrate with your Etsy account and then integrate with Printify. It will read the Etsy order. It will personalize the graphic for you, and then it will send it over to Printify.
Wow!
All with the single click of a button. So if you sometimes with your personalization, they get scared. It's like, hey, that's way too much work. It's too many steps. So I want to just address that right now. That like towards the end of the video, we will show you how to integrate that design into Hello Custom, so you don't have to worry about personalization at this step.
Wow! So excited. Okay, this is awesome.
So now that you kind of know the product is ornaments, you know that the design, like those are the niches. I would recommend you guys take those niches and just build out like 10 designs per niche. You have 100 ornaments for the Christmas season, and you guys will be able to make enough money to pay rent for the next year. So the next thing we need to do is the type of ornament that does well. You can see that there are a ton of different ornaments. The one that does really well on Etsy are these ceramic round 3-inch ornaments right here.
Okay.
So this is the one that we want to see if Printify has this product specifically. So I'm going to go over to Printify really quick.
Nice.
So if you go over to Printify, and the cool thing about Printify, if you don't know what Printify is it's essentially a software that is a bridge between you as a seller and fulfillment partners. So that way, like you can sell the Christmas ornaments, and through Printify, a print production partner will make the graphic or make the products for you and ship it off to your customer on your behalf. When it ships, the tracking will then be provided to your Etsy shopper. So essentially, they do all of the production for you. That way, you don't have to worry about it. Etsy brings you the traffic. Printify does the fulfillment, and then you get a slice of the pie at the end. So if you go over to Printify, you can search in their catalog. You can search ornaments, and then you can see that they have a number of different ornaments. But as I mentioned, the one that does pretty well is the round ceramic one. So I wouldn't do like the wood ones, or this one is a more spherical ones, but it's like plastic. The one that I would probably do is stay between, one of these, probably 5 that are the round ones. But it does show that this one is the best seller.
You're right. Yeah. Okay.
So I'm going to go ahead and click onto this one right here. And the reason why I'm going to click onto this is we want to make sure, essentially we want to see like what size graphic we need to create. So to do that is you click onto the product, you click on Start Designing. And then in the bottom of their editor tool here, it shows you the design requirements, that it is 960 by 960 or a maximum resolution of 30,000 by 30,000 pixels.
Oh, wow, that's huge. Okay.
So we therefore know that the graphic needs to be square going onto this ornament. So now that I know that the graphic needs to be square, I can go over to Canva. So what I'll do is like, since it is a print product, even though like the minimum is like 960 by 960, I might like increase that a little bit because the maximum is 30,000 by 30,000. So I might do 5,000 by 5,000 pixels.
Okay.
A new design.
Nice.
For ornaments specifically, because this product is round, I want to kind of keep my designs within a round kind of perimeter. So one thing that I do is I make the background a darker color. I go over to Elements, and this is all just during the design, and I will remove this before I download the design.
Oh, this is like a guide.
Exactly.
Yeah, okay.
I'll add like a white circle in the middle. So now that I know that all of my elements are within the circle, kind of matching how it looks here, right? Like the darker gray with the white circle. That is, now I have my design elements. So we're gonna go ahead and just make a super quick design. This is not a design tutorial video. I just want to make something where you can see like, hey, like once I have this editable design, how do we create the product on Printify, and then how do we upload that to HoloCustom? So I'm going to make a super quick, and again, don't judge my design skills. I'm not a designer.
You're fine.
Baby's first Christmas ornament. So this is, I think, our #1 ornament on Etsy is Baby's first Christmas.
Wow.
And I think that one design going in the last 2 Christmases has done maybe $150,000 revenue.
Holy cow.
This is a really big one. So I'm going to put Theo's.
Okay.
Let's see.
First Christmas. Nice.
Christmas. And then typically people like to have a date, so like a name and a date.
Oh, smart.
So I'm gonna put 2023 down here. And then in the middle, I'm gonna go over to Elements. Typically for the clip art, the ones that do really well are more like watercolor styles.
Okay.
Not super like realistic. And sometimes like the more vintage styled as well. And a good place to get the clip art. So in this example, I'm just gonna pull clip art from Canva just for speed purposes. But a great place to get clip art is Creative Fabrica. So I'd recommend when you're doing your designs to create the template here, go to Creative Fabrica, get the clip art, come back because you'll have way more of a selection to make your designs.
Okay.
But for this video, I'm gonna type in watercolor baby. Let's see what we have.
Oh, nice.
Right here.
Oh, cool. I mean, some cool stuff.
All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and maybe just grab something that's blue.
Oh, nice. Good idea.
In the background. Let's see. Baby.
Does it have to be Christmas related? It can be an elephant. Yeah. That's what I was thinking.
It doesn't have to be anything too Christmas themes. Baby's first Christmas.
Nice. I like it already. You got some design skills.
There you go. I'm gonna change this maybe to
like a fancier font, script font. Do script fonts usually work better for you? Have you noticed anything about the type of fonts?
Yeah, so typically the script fonts do a lot better than like text fonts. So something like this, like a Buffalo or Benedict or Architect's Daughter might be better. I'm going to go ahead and actually do Architect's Daughter for this one, just because I know we have that font inside of HoloCustom.
Okay.
So that way I don't have to go and upload. And then again, the fonts are super similar. Let me just size this down a little bit.
Nice. Yeah, the handwritten script fonts I think do really well because it has that baby feeling anyway, right? So
exactly. Boom.
This is cool.
And maybe I might just make this guy a.
So you're going to be able to customize all of the name and the date probably too, right? On HoloCustom.
Exactly. Yeah. So HoloCustom will be able to when we upload this design into HoloCustom, we'll tag this as name, and then we'll tag this as date.
That's amazing.
And then when the shopper on Etsy types in, can the name be, Joshua's and the date be 2023? It would dynamically change this to Joshua, and then change this to keep it as 2023.
Yeah.
So we'll go ahead and we'll call this good for a baby's first Christmas ornament design. It's again super quick. So now I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to delete this background element and click delete that. So
Yes.
to create the product on Printify, you have to download it as a PNG with a
Hmm.
transparent background.
Hmm.
So inside of Canva, to do that, click on Share,
Hmm.
Download. It's going to be PNG with a transparent background,
Hmm.
and click on Download.
Sweet.
Now I'm going to go over to Printify really quick. And then again, just to show you guys how to do that, you're going to type in ornament. You're going to select the product. You're going to find your print provider. In this case, there's only one. Click on Start Designing.
Okay.
And then we are going to upload our design. So we're going to click on to My Device.
Sweet.
And then we're going to upload that PNG that we just created. And then we're going to position it to make sure it looks good on the preview.
Okay. Yeah, this sounds pretty simple. Look at that. It's already there. That's awesome. So you want to get inside of that dotted line? Is that how it's working?
I think this is just a safety margin in case they don't place the graphic down correctly.
Oh,
But you can
okay.
see on the
For graphic.
preview that it goes edge to edge. So you can see right here, it
Oh,
is
it
within
still,
the
yeah,
margin.
it still works. Okay.
Yeah, so one thing that you want to keep in mind is that, especially with the Christmas ornaments, is that this is a round product
Mm-hmm.
with a hole here. So when you are creating your designs, you want to make sure that you keep some room at the top. So there's gonna be a hole here. I could honestly move this down a little bit and then move this up a little bit, so that just to make sure it's in frame. But when we head over to Hello Custom, we're gonna set essentially the max allowance for this text element here. Like how long can the name get before we make the font smaller?
Uh-huh.
And we'll just want to remember that, hey, like when you get to the edge of the F and maybe the edge of the S, that's when you're hitting the walls here. Or when you're right here, maybe it's the edge of the M and the edge of the R is you're
That's
hitting the
true.
walls here. So you just want to keep, because it is a round product, you want to make sure that you don't make the max allowance too long
Yes.
to where like the first and the last letters kind of fall off the sides, because
Okay.
they will print it and they will ship it out even if it looks wrong. So now that we have created our design, go ahead and click on Save Product.
Save product. Okay.
And then from here, we're going to click on Publish.
Oh, okay. That easy. That's awesome.
And then essentially what Printify is doing is it's going to publish this product onto your Etsy account. And now that this product is live, now what we can do is create the template on Hello Custom. That way, when this product sells, the personalization is automated.
Okay.
So to do that, we now have to go back over to Canva.
Okay.
And we have to download this design as a PDF. That way, when you upload it over to Hello Custom, we can convert it back to an editable template.
Oh,
Because
okay.
if you upload a PNG, PNGs are flat files. We can't make that editable again.
The text isn't editable. Yeah, that makes sense.
Exactly, but we're able to break a PDF back into all of these different elements. So to do that, click on Share, Download. We're going to change this to PDF print, and we're going to keep it as RGB because PNGs are in RGB. So your original design was in RGB. So you want your PDF to be in the same color profile as your PDF that's on Printify to make sure that the colors are exact. We will click on Download. And then we're going to head over to Hello Custom. And then to create a template, go ahead and click on Templates. Click on Add New. And then we will upload that PDF right here. And what Hello Custom is doing right now is it is taking that PDF and it is converting it back to an editable template. This typically takes about 5 seconds to do. Load. All right, perfect. As you can see, Hello Custom took that PDF and it converted it back into all of its different elements.
Wow.
So to create the template, the first thing we'll do is give this a title. This is for internal purposes only. So maybe babies. Babies First Christmas ornament. And then the next thing we want to do is we want to tell Hello Custom what product on Etsy does this graphic belong to. And to do that, we'll click on Product Variants. And then this is our dev account. So it shows a couple of test products, but this is the ornament that we just published over to our Etsy account. We can click onto the product here. It'll pull all of the SKUs for the product selected by default. If there are any SKUs that are not for this design, you can unselect them. But in this case, it's just the one SKU. We'll click on Update. Now Hello Custom knows when that SKU is sold on Etsy to use this graphic. The last thing we need to do is we need to tell Hello Custom how and what to personalize inside of this graphic. And we do that with tags. So we'll click onto this name element here. And the first thing we'll do is we'll set the max allowance. This is how long can the name get, the text get, before we would like Hello Custom to dynamically make the text smaller to fit into this text box. So Hello Custom will make the text smaller if someone puts Stephen Jason Chin and they try to fit it into one box. It'll try to get it to fit. And as we mentioned earlier, is we want the max length to maybe be between the R and maybe the A, because this is a round product that once it gets there, it might start to get cut off. And we also want it to be, when it gets personalized, to be center aligned. You can have it be left aligned, right aligned, center aligned, or all caps maybe, or bold. So now that we know that we want this to be here, we have the max allowance, we will tag this as name. So now that when Hello Custom finds a name in the information that the shopper types in, it'll put the name here. The next one is the date. So maybe right about there for a round product is maybe the max date, because sometimes they'll put maybe December 23rd, 2023. They'll put an entire full form date here.
Like the baby's birthday. Yeah.
For the birthday, exactly. Center aligned, and then this one is going to be tagged as a date. So one thing to point out is Hello Custom currently can only personalize 4 different entities. They can personalize names, dates, addresses, and phone numbers. I will say that might sound a little limited, but we've done over 210,000 sales on Etsy, and we only do names, dates, addresses, and phone numbers text personalization.
Yeah.
So it's the whole 80-20 right now. We will be adding more tags, but as of right now for Christmas, the big one is name and date. As you can see in this design right here, we're only using name and date. And then maybe for first Christmas and new home, you would do like name, date, address. So now that these are tagged, the last thing you want to do is, the ornament is white, so you can leave the background. But if this was a shirt, for example, you don't want there to be a white box behind your graphic, otherwise, because that will show. So the last thing to do is click on background and make the background transparent. It's very similar to the PNG that we uploaded.
Wow.
And that's it. So now go ahead and click on publish. And then when this product sells on Etsy, Hello Custom will use this graphic. It'll personalize the graphic for you, and it will display it for your approval in our approval queue. So when this product sells on Etsy, Hello Custom will automatically personalize the graphic and display it for your approval in our approval queue. We just created the template, so obviously it has not sold yet, but I do have this example one already in my approval queue loaded, so you can kind of see what it will look like when it sells on Etsy. So what you'll see on the approval card is a thumbnail of the personalized graphic side by side with the Etsy order information. You'll see the product, the quantity bought, the variations, and what the shopper actually typed in. In this example, I wrote, can the name be Stephen and the date be 2024? Hello Custom read this. It recognized Stephen as name and 2024 as a date. It took the graphic for this template and it put Stephen 2024. It uses the correct font, color, placement, and best of all, the correct personalization. So if everything looks correct on the graphic, you can go ahead and click on approve. And then if you're integrated with Printify, it will automatically be fulfilled for you. If for some reason, maybe with the note to seller, they wanted to change the spelling or to make sure that there's something different with the graphic, you can edit this graphic before you approve it. So to do that, you can click on the 3 dots here and click on edit. Where our editor will be pulled up, where you can click onto these text elements and change it. Maybe they wanted it to be Stephen Chen. Like they message you post purchase, like, hey, actually, can you put my last name in there too?
Nice.
So you can go ahead, you can edit it here, and then you can click on a save, and then it will be overwritten. I'm gonna go ahead and click on cancel. And then once the graphic looks correct, you can click on approve, and then the updated graphic will be sent to Printify for production.
That's amazing. That's so cool. That's even better than what I thought, because what I thought you would do before you showed this was I thought they would have an input for name and an input for date, but they can just type in a sentence and you grab it. That's fantastic.
Yeah, exactly. So that's kind of how Etsy works. Is I'm gonna click onto someone's listing really quick.
Yeah.
Is why we almost need AI to do this. Is the independent of what you sell, whether it's an ornament, a T-shirt, a mug, a tote bag, whether how much you personalize, if it's just name and date, or if it's name, date, address, phone number, birth year. All Etsy gives you is one text box. So you have to bring all of that into one text box, and you can't have this one be name and a different text box be for date, and we're like plugging those into the correct spots. We have to let them type in up to 256 characters.
Wow.
A full paragraph, and then we have to use AI to extract name and then read, okay, extract date, and then take those entities and then dynamically personalize the graphic for you. So that's kind of where the AI comes in, just because of the limitations with the input of the personalization.
So smart. You guys figured it out, man. This is cool.
Yeah,
So
and this
cool.
is from hundreds of thousands of uses on our case and all the pain points that we have with us. So the cool thing about Hello Custom is this is a software built by an Etsy seller for Etsy sellers,
Yeah.
knowing that most Etsy sellers are not tech savvy and first time entrepreneurs and not graphic designers. So
Yeah.
we try to make it as easy as possible for everyone, where everything is just a click of a button. You're able to create a template with
Wow.
templates typically take about like 1 minute to create. So that's 1 minute invested to automate the entire lifetime of the personalization for that product. And then once it is built out, the whole beautiful thing about print on demand is it's semi-passive, right? Etsy brings you the traffic, Printify fulfills the product, then you get a slice of the pie. With personalization, you make that business manual. You make that business manual where like
Yeah.
now you have to manually personalize the graphic, manually update the order, then get a slice of the pie. So Hello Custom takes all that and it keeps it semi-automated,
Wow.
all with the simple click of a button.
That's fantastic. And you're showing, I mean, we're talking about ornaments here because the Christmas coming up, but I would guess you're showing mugs here. I'm guessing you can do it on t-shirts for like people love to wear Christmas pajamas, right? Things like that. And
Yeah, so the beautiful thing about Hello Custom is because we're just personalizing the graphic
uh-huh.
and the graphic was already uploaded into the product and we chose the product on Printify.
Yes.
Therefore, Hello Custom can be used for any product. So whether it is
Wow.
apparel, phone cases,
Wow.
tumblers, ornaments, whatever it is, we're just personalizing the graphic for you that is going to then get applied. It's going to match the placement that we put on that ornament at the beginning. And it's just going to swap out the graphic with the correct graphic essentially on the correct product.
So powerful. I can see this doing for like we said Christmas, but birthdays, Valentine's, graduation, like all of those are like customizable holidays, right? So wow, this is
Yeah,
cool.
exactly. So I just created a video on my YouTube channel called Six Figure Niches, where I kind of go over
Okay.
10 different niches that I personally sell in.
Okay.
It's essentially the same niches for ornaments. You just remove first Christmas,
Okay.
and then those are the I call it evergreen events. Like people are having babies every single day.
Yeah. There you go.
Every single day people are having babies, therefore they
Okay.
buy a gift. Or people are doing godparent proposals or baptisms every single day. So it's like you can essentially take those same designs, remove the Christmas effect, and then add that to a mug or a tumbler or apparel. And then I think those are like the ones for more daily consistent
Wow.
sales.
I'll make sure to put that. I'll put a link to that video there in my description so that people can. I mean, they're going to start with this because there's a time thing for
Mhm.
ornaments for Christmas, but then throughout the year they can do the other ones like you're saying. So this is cool. This is really cool. I'm so glad we got to see it from the person who built it, and show all the like little tips and tricks and what you shared in the beginning. Those 10 ornaments, the ones that we should do. Like you just took research. Like we can use Everbee, of course, and do all that sort of having that 10 to start is awesome too. So thanks, Stephen. This has been very, very, very helpful. Hopefully everybody can jump on this to get some Christmas ornaments up and get some sales, right?
Yeah, exactly. I genuinely believe that someone can start today at the time of like the recording
Uh-huh.
and probably launch 100 designs through, on Etsy, through Printify, automating with Hello Custom, and probably make six figures revenue before the end of 2023. So again, I launched this time 2 years ago, and I think we sold 20,000 units. So we made like $200,000, in like a 45-day window, which was just incredible. It was a rush. We make everything ourselves. So it was like, again, got a lot of gray hair as a result. With Printify, they will automate the personalization or they will automate the fulfillment. And then with Hello Custom, they can automate the personalization. So during a holiday season, you can just, spend time with your family. That's kind of like the whole purpose of why we built people.
It's amazing. The gift that we can get as Christmas as print on demand sellers is our gift. That's pretty cool. So awesome. Thanks so much again, Stephen. Great to have you back. And hopefully a lot of people can take advantage of these things. And you showed us exactly how to do it. So that's awesome. I'm glad you were able to do that for us. So
Yeah, of course.
yeah.
Thank you for having me. Really appreciate it.
You're welcome. You're welcome. Hopefully you have a great, I'm sure you're going to have a great Q4, a great Christmas, and hopefully we'll see you back again, maybe after the new year or something like that.
Yeah, that'd be awesome. Thanks so much.
Yep. See you, man. Have
All
a good
right.
one.
See you, Gina.